So my goal is to go to medical school, but my end goal in life is to build a hospital in Nigeria, to help people, to help the less fortunate people who don't have like the ability to have good health care. So in order to achieve all these goals, one thing I need to work on is my anxiety. I've always like suffered with anxiety and I've always like ignored it or just coped with it. I feel like all my life, like since I can remember, I've always dealt with anxiety and like just like negative thoughts in general. And it's like, I understood it was anxiety, but I never really understood like how it can really impact your life or influence like your life. And like I always like kind of ignored it. And I was always like, oh, it'll go away eventually. Like I'll grow out of it or something like that. And I feel like, especially when I started playing basketball, it really like heightened a lot. I was on a big stage all the time. And I remember like just like always in my basketball journey in like middle school and high school, it always said, Clarice, like you can do so much better. Like you can like improve so much, but you're just not. Like, why aren't you? And it's like, I always thought like, oh, I'm just unable to, or like I'm just not good enough. But it's like, I was telling myself that because like those negative thoughts in my head and like anxiety of like, well, like maybe I'm not good enough, or maybe like it was just so much. I didn't understand how to like deal with that because it was so overwhelming. I can't really tell you what my negative thoughts are. It's more like a feeling. It's like a feeling in my bones, kind of just travels throughout my body, and I just like feel like so down and negative, and like I just feel like I can't explain it, but I remember had that feeling. It was so strong. I was like, please, like write it down, like just write it down and see like see what you say. And I just wrote down a whole paragraph of like everything I felt about myself. I felt about like the situation I was in right now, and like just how I felt. And like I remember I was like started typing, and like I read it back to myself, and I was like, yeah, like this isn't good. I have big goals in the future. Like I want to do big things, and like that mentality and that mindset is not gonna get me there. It's just not, and it's gonna like hold me back. And like right now it's holding me back, but like when I try to get into medical school, when I try to do all these big things, like build a hospital in Nigeria or something like that mindset of like I'm unable, that mindset of like I'm not good enough, is gonna really hold me back from doing those big things. And I was like, yeah, like I'm gonna fix this right now, so my future self can like thank me. I always loved the hospital idea. Like me, like I always thought the hospital being a place where like you walk in sick, you come out healthy. Even though like a lot of people think like you walk in sick and you die in there, but I always thought like you walk out healthy. I remember like my grandma, she immigrated from Nigeria to here, like my 5th grade year, and like she was in and out the hospital a lot because like Nigeria healthcare it's not that good. And I remember just like every day or every time she came out of the hospital, she was always healthy, and I was like, I thought it was so cool. And I remember like her just telling me like, oh, like what do you want to do in like in life? I'm like, oh, I want to be a nurse. I want to be a doctor. I want to help people. And I remember she saying like, you know, you can do it. Just gotta study and like really work hard, but you can do it. You can do anything you can do. And I just thought that was so cool. And yeah, so the idea of like building a hospital in Nigeria, or just like in general, just like helping people back home, helping people that are like unfortunate they can't get the help, and like yeah, ideas like, and I honestly feel like that's like my purpose in life, to help people. So it's like I need to do everything in my power to like get to that goal. So I saw a therapist. So SC has a really good like psychology like department. So I saw a therapist, and I was like started talking through it. And like the first 2 meetings, I was like, yeah, this is stupid. Like it's not helping. Like I feel like she was talking like, but I remember she explained to me like, Clarice, like you've been dealing with this for like 18 years of your life. It's not gonna like be gone 2 days. You have to really like stick with it and like work on it. And I was like, I guess, fine, I guess, like I will. And I started making like weekly appointments with my therapist here at SC. I started like prioritizing my self-love, like self-care. I started like challenging those negative thoughts in my head. I started to like give myself grace. Like for one thing with me is like I'm very hard on myself, but like it's crazy because like I'm so hard on myself, but like if you come up to me like, oh hey, like you know I feel like I'm not good enough and I feel like I'm like unable to do this, I'm gonna like hype you up so good. Like I'm like, no, you're good, like you got this, like blah blah blah. And then like I remember my therapist saying like, why can't you judge for yourself? Like why is it like different when it comes to you? You know? And I was like, why is that? Like that's so true. So like just give myself grace and like when bad things do happen, try to like twist it. And I'm not saying be overly positive, but sometimes like be neutral. Like, okay, it did happen, but like learn from it and like don't beat yourself up for it. I don't know, I feel like God created me to like do something more. Like I feel like I was meant to help people. I've always like loved like just like the idea of like, helping people. So in order to achieve all these goals, one thing I need to work on is my anxiety by going to therapy, by working on self-love, by fighting against the negative thoughts in my head, by just believing in myself and like believing in like and have faith, honestly. Like my new motto is she doesn't beg, chase, or force. She prays, works, and have faith. And I think that's the biggest thing personally. Also like just build my relationship with God too. Like I feel like just working hard, praying, and having faith that He's gonna guide you in the right direction is all I really need to like make it in life. And like that has really helped me a lot with my anxiety. It's just like really having faith and like He has a plan for me and it's all gonna work out at the end. So I think that's like my biggest thing.